All right, well, Shalom.
Shalom.
You know, GMS Mississippi, back for another live lesson. And today we got a topic going into the confusion of faith, because it's a heavy topic in these last days. Because as the Most High began to gather up his elect from the four winds or from the four corners of the earth, they're going to have the embodiments, physical characteristics, traits, everything to that nature of the people of the lands that they currently abide in. So for the Israelites in Africa, for the Israelites in South America, for the Israelites in China, in Afghanistan, you know, all these different places, their roots and their lineage has been in that in those particular lands for you know what I'm saying, ever since the time of when slavery happened, man. You know, so they're deeply enrooted or embedded in those lands, so they're gonna have those physical characteristics because that's what comes and derives from intermingling of the seeds of man. Now, the video or the actual situation that prompted this would be the live feed that we had on this past Saturday, August the 12th in Memphis, Tennessee. You know, and first and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, okay, for giving us this knowledge and this truth and this word and this understanding. Now, the brother Zahab right here, there was a lot of controversy on the comment board when we went live because of the physical characteristics of this brother right here. Now, the funny thing is, right? The funny thing is that brother's been out there for months. This brother's been making videos for years. Okay. Now all of a sudden you see him on the camera, and then the script stopped. He's been on the other side of the camera for a while, for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But now you see him crossed over. Okay, now you see a physical face and a physical body, and then you get caught and taken by it. But you're not spiritual, because only the most sized men are going to be able to tell the spirit. That's why it's written in the book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 1 that we try the spirits. You know, you're asking us if he's an Edomite or not. Don't you think we figured it out already? You're asking us, you know what I'm saying, who is his dad an Israelite? Don't you think we figured that out already? You know, so you know, without further ado, let the brother priest Abaya, the brother Shakat, jump into the lesson.
You want to start out with the video, or you want to?
Yeah, we can. This one here. All right, yeah.
Let's get it on, I'm ready. Getting on, I'm with it. You can bring it back to the city. If you wanna ride, come with me. Let's get it on, I'm ready. Getting on, I'm with it. You can bring it back to the city. If you wanna ride, come with me. It's a bit about my head. And you know I can't be scared.
And so with that being said, you can't deny that this Shada Spence individual is an Israelite, man. You see his spirit is cleaving with other Israelites, man. It's nothing but Jake in the background, man. Okay? So, you know, the truth is not about color per se, all right? You know, it's about nationalities, man. And a nationality which goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. All right? Let's get into the precept.
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 1. Says, James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting.
So, hey, like the brother just read, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. And where are they scattered? Throughout the entire world, man. Why? Let's go to Deuteronomy 28, bro.
Deuteronomy.
You know what? Start at 15.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So due to us being rebellious, you know, we wasn't following the law, statutes, and commandments. What happened? Curses came upon us. Why? Because we didn't do what we supposed to do. Jump down to 25.
Verse 25, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Right. So as a curse, we were smitten before our enemies because Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, our rock, and sold us out. Okay. And then it states that we shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, meaning we're going to be scattered. And therefore, once we are in these different regions, man, we're going to start mingling our seed with these women, man. And over a process of time, that Negroid look is going to vanish. Okay. The same way with that Ephraimite look, that's going to vanish, you know, because we don't really know how we look, man. All right. That's why we go by the spirit, man. All right. You have something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. This is from the Sullivan Compact Bible Dictionary. And on page 133 for diaspora, it says, the name applied to the Jews living outside of Palestine and maintaining their religious faith among the Gentiles. God had warned the Jews through Moses that dispersion among other nations would be their lot if they departed from the Mosaic law.
Hence, Deuteronomy 28:15. Go ahead.
These prophecies were largely fulfilled in the 2 captivities by Assyria and Babylonia.
Because the Syrians took over the northern kingdom and the Babylonians came and took over the southern kingdom.
But there were other captivities which helped scatter the Israelites. By the time of Mashiach, the diaspora must have been several times the population of Palestine. Paul invariably contacted the people in every city he visited.
Which would actually be the Israelite foreigners, man. Those are the Gentiles that's going to be able to receive the truth, man. Because remember, Yahweh Shem Al-Shah is not going to give his glory to another nation. Okay? All right, bro. And let's just get an example of that. Go to Ezra, bro. Ezra. It's like,
the book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites.
Now look at these. These are nothing but various nationalities outside of the nation of Israel. Continue.
For they have taken of their daughters for themselves.
Right. Who? What daughters? The daughters of the Egyptians, the Amorites, the Jebusites, and etc. Continue.
And for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands.
And eventually, when that holy seed was mingled with the daughters of these heathens, we took on their characteristics, such as their looks, man. Hence the term shout of Spence, the video that we opened up with.
Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass.
And this is just a great example through the Spirit to let you know that how our people always deal with daughters of the other nations, man. And you can also use this scripture for the fallen ones, man. All right, y'all got anything?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 4:27. Hey, since we had it, we can check down 7 verse.
You should read it from here?
No, just jump to 7. Yeah.
Okay. Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, to a spoil, and to confusion of face as it is this day.
And which is a confusion of face is a curse, man, because we don't supposed to look like the other nations, but as a curse, look at this, Blake Griffin's son, man. But if you didn't know him as such as from this picture, you would think that was an Edomite, man, just off the street. If you seen him and his mother walking in the mall, you would think this would be a so-called white boy, which would be an Edomite, okay? And look at his father right there. And now I assume that's his mother. Okay, so it doesn't matter, man, how you look. It's about the spirit that's within you, man. All right.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 27. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you."
Right. So just going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 15, man, that's a part of that curse, man. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, you know, and that's why the truth has to circulate around the four corners of the earth, man, because there are Israelites that have to receive this word, part of the elect, to be redeemed by Yahweh Shah.
God, that's why when you read in the book of Ezra, it goes into how the Most High's people came unto him from the east. All the way to from the west by the hearing of his word.
Come, bro, come.
You know?
All right.
Daniel.
Come.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as at this day, to the men of Judah.
To the men of Judah. Go ahead.
And to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
And who would that be? Would we actually beginning with the so-called Negroes, to the Levites, to the Benjamites? Okay.
And unto all Israel.
All Israel, man. So as a collection of us as a whole, man. Go ahead.
That are near and that are far off.
Scattered. Go ahead.
Through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee.
Come, bro. Come. Now, go to Isaiah 29 and 22.
Isaiah 29 and 22. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, who redeemed Abraham concerning the house of Jacob. Jacob shall not now be ashamed, neither shall his face now wax pale.
Right. So basically, you know, back in the day, without the understanding of the spirit, people assumed that meant, okay, Jake is not going to look like a so-called white boy. But that doesn't make sense, because you have the curse of the confusion of the faces, correct? So when you go into the term, the Hebrew for wax pale, right there, okay? And it's Strong's H2357 pronounced as kawar, all right? Now it states the point, a primitive root to blanch as with shame, man. Meaning, why we won't be shamed? Because, hey, we're going to find out in the end times that we are Israelites, man. Doesn't mean that we're going to become white or grow white. No, because that would offset that doesn't link up with the prophecy of the confusion of face and us being scattered. So if we utilize this term within the spirit as with shame, meaning that, hey, we're not going to be shameful because we're going to know we're Israelites. Hence Hosea 1 and 9, 1 and 10. Okay, in a place of our captivity, it's going to be told to us that we're the sons of the Most High, man. All right, go ahead.
John.
Yes, sir.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 48. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not well that thou art a Samaritan and hast a devil?
Right. So they call Yahweh Shah Samaritan, and they knew he was from the house of Judah. They knew his lineage went back to Judah, Yahweh, man, the Most High things, man, the Most High thanks. But at the same time, these wicked Pharisees, these wicked Jews, called him a Samaritan, man.
So they knew his mother and his father.
Now, and so if Yahweh Shah went through this, bro, pull up hold on. Servant above the master. Servant.
In Matthew 10.
God.
Okay. Yeah. Matthew chapter 10, verse 24. the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord.
So the disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. So if Yahushua went through this, which is the captain of our salvation, then hey, the body of the church is going to have to go through this as well, man. Whoever that fits to it. This brother in GMS Great Waters too. Okay, although they look like they're Edomites, but this is a Jake, man. He has the spirit of the Jake. Okay, his spirit is not going to cleave to this truth, man. Okay.
Yeah, Edomite spirit is not going to cleave to the truth. You know, but these are our brothers, man, and we embrace them through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, brother Chicago. You know, this was a Israelite that came out from the Philippines. So we everywhere, man. We don't look on that out appearance. Most of our will get that scripture as well. That out appearance has nothing to do with anything. If that out appearance was a main factor, then David would not be our king to this very day. You know. Okay.
Malachi 1:14.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 14. And it says, "But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen."
Yeah, so these so-called brothers these brothers right here look like the other nations. They wouldn't be considered as you know what I'm saying, like they wouldn't be called on the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai. They spirit links up with the scriptures, man. You know, they basically, like the Romans said, it mentioned Romans 8:16 how our spirit bear witness that we know we are the children.
I got that too.
So these brothers, right, as you see, this brother right from the New York camp, he wouldn't be calling on the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai. He was actually a heathen.
And he said it right here. I'm gonna turn it up.
All right, shalom. First and foremost, as always, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
You know, hey, you know, that says it all, man. You know, hey, because like the scripture says,
spirit bear witness.
That spirit bear witness that we are the children of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know.
Okay. All right.
Start off. All right. Want to read again, or you want to move to the Revelation? Okay, come. We'll get Revelation, the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 9. "After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands."
And that great multitude that's going to the Israelite foreigners, man. They scattered all across the four corners of the earth, pursuant to the curse in Deuteronomy 28:64. You know, so all those that great multitude that's gonna be speaking different tongues, they're gonna be looking like the other nations, things of that such. Those are Israelites, man. They spirit bear witness with our spirit, man. And that's if you can, bro, you get Wisdom of Solomon 5. I'm gonna say it's like at 2.
Okay.
You know, because we're gonna basically get through the spirit. We're gonna point out that just because you know those guys right there look like the other nations, you know, Jake look at it from a face value point. You know, they tangible like Esau are. You know, so they gonna look at it like if he's like a so-called white man, then he's a white man. They don't judge by the spirit. And through the spirit, Yahweh Shai, he bestowed on the apostles and the elders a great millstone on down to us. We can see through the spirit that everybody not gonna look so-called black, you know what I'm saying, or so-called Indian descent, man. You're gonna have the other nations, you're gonna have Israelites looking like the other nations, you know. So get Wisdom of Solomon
5 and 2. Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 2. It says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for."
Right. And first and foremost, is talking about those chariots, you know, known as so-called UFOs. But in another sense, the other nations, they're gonna be looking strange that they seeing so-called Negroes and Latinos get, you know, Native Americans getting beamed up. And on another flip side of that, our people that who consider themselves like the whole 12 tribes of Israel, just all black, they're gonna be strange when they see so-called white-looking people getting beamed up, or so-called Asian people getting beamed up. You know, so-called looking Asian people getting beamed up. You know, but through the spirit, they are Israelites.
Right. And Yahweh Shai had already told us that the sign of how you will know his disciples, and that was from that love that they have one toward another. It's gonna be real funny when you a lot of you dark-skinned guys actually find out that you're not Israelites, man. That you tares, man. Hey, because when Yahweh Shai comes back, the first thing that he said he was going to do was separate the tares from the wheat. You know what I'm saying? So the tares are out there.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, 8 and 16. Yeah, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
So that's why we don't have to base it on how you look or what type of, you know what I'm saying, how's your hair type and so on and so forth. No, it's about your spirit, man. If you can cleave on to this word and understand this word, then you're an Israelite, man. Because no heathen can't be grafted back into this thing, man. You know, those so-called people of these other nations that look like these other nations, they're Israelites, man. Israelite foreigners, man. You know,
the foreigners scattered abroad. Greetings. All right, 17. And if children, then heirs of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Yeah, in that case scenario in Matthew 10, you know, Salaki, the verse you brought out about he was called a Samaritan. So, hey, for the brothers that look like the other nations, hey, consider that, you know what I'm saying, as a glory, man, because Yahweh Shai, hey, even though he looked like a so-called Negro, he was still getting called another nation. So for you brothers that's in the faith and you look like the other nations, consider that as glory, man. Because he went through the same thing. You know?
And use it to your benefit. You know, hey, use his word, not abuse it. You know, hey, because sometimes hey, you wish you that you could able bend in and maneuver in this world, and we can't do it. You know. Like these are like physical chains that still attached to us. You know what I'm saying? So if you are confused in the face, you know what I'm saying, to why Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for waking you up to being an Israelite, but use this world, man. You know the curse is gonna follow you regardless because it, you know, it follow that spirit. But man still is upon earth, and Jacob is the supplanter. You know, so it is still possible to better your situation in certain areas.
So it's like the best of both worlds, you know.
All right. The book of John, chapter 7, verse 24. It says, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment."
Yeah, and the righteous judgment is basically you're gonna have brothers that are confused of faces, man. That's the righteous judgment, man. It's like the elders and the apostles always say, every brother's not gonna look like Shel. That's why Yahweh Hashem Al Shai's heritage is associated like as a spoken word, man. It has to fulfill the prophecies, man. And then Yahweh Hashem Al Shai enjoys variety, man, and diversification.
Yeah, so he gonna make all those different variations of the cat family. How much more the people that he chose? You know?
Right. Hey, bro, I got 3 different type of trees in my yard, man.
Right.
You know, the Most High, hey, they try to put the Heathen Father in a box, man.
Right.
Oh, you just black.
Yeah.
He just black.
Man, he just one track, man.
He just one track mind. All right, that's cool. Whatever you say, Jake. This last scripture I got. Okay.
All right. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. But Yahweh Shai said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh Shai said, not as men see it, for man looking on the outward appearance, but Yahweh Shai looking on the heart.
And that's what it's all about. So you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter on no actual physical complexion upon the brother, man. And because that spirit was ordained from the beginning. And if it was ordained to be a prophet, he prophesying now, and that's what you see. And now these are stumbling blocks unto the wicked, but they're faith boosters unto the Most High's righteous. And it's hopefully lit, because we look at these brothers, oh man, Most High's moving, Most High's working, man.
We get amped.
We get amped up because this didn't happen, man. This one happened back when, you know what I'm saying, back when the apostles,
Colon cancer screening.
you know what I'm saying,
Colon cancer screening for
started,
people 50 and older at average risk.
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's time for a new screen, for a different kind of screen for colon.
Yeah. So when the apostles, when they was teaching back in the 90s, you were seeing prophecies like this coming to pass, man.
You know?
So that just an indicator just to let you know that we really close to the end. Man.
Yep. Closer than we what do you say? Nearer than you believe.
Current.
You know?
Current.
So, go back to it. Yeah, well, you know, the point there, because it says for the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance. You know, so the Lord already telling you about yourself, man. You know, and then you jump back into John 7:24, says, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." It's not righteous judgment to see a man prophesying and you just automatically rule it out.
Right.
Just because you feel some type of way about it.
Right.
You know, the Lord already said his thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways his ways. Ain't nothing too hard for the Heavenly Father. Just let him work.
Right, let him work.
You know, but everything is to the revealing, man. You know.
Yeah, man. Hey, this was just a lesson to the point, man. Lord will you're edified, man. If you have the Spirit upon you to, you know, to cleave onto this and understand. Thank you, how about Shem Al Shai? Y'all have any closing remarks? And with that, we hope you were edified. All praises to
Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.